What's up, Planeswalkers? 3x6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. And this is the Kaladesh update. As you can see, we have several different format types now. They changed this icon, which I think I'm fine with. I also opened a vault last night, which was cool. Got some mythics and rares that I'm gonna use something for. Additionally, we have sideboards, which is awesome. So last night after I did my grocery chores, I went ahead and updated some of my decks. Not all of them. Anything you see with a plus has a sideboard. And since today is Muldrotha Day, I figured I would go over some of the minor changes to the main deck as well as the cards I'm using for the sideboard. So I ended up taking out both Moment of Cravings, both Golden Demises, a single, well, the only Carnage Tyrant that was in the deck, as well as a single Gift of Paradise. And in its place, I decided to add 2 Filigree Familiars, sort of taking on the role of Moment's Craving as it's a way for me to gain life and have a blocker against the red aggro decks, as well as 4 Walking Ballista. This card's insane. It's been like one of the best cards since the update. It comes down early and kills like aggro decks, and it comes down late and is able to really easily get rid of some mid-range creatures. Just a bit ago, actually, I was facing up against a white-black vampire deck, and they had a Vona that resolved. I was able to tap out for Walking Ballista and kill the Vona, and from there I was able to wrest control of the game away from my opponent, so that was fantastic. Moving into the sideboard, essentially we have some cards for aggro and some cards for control, and I'll just do it by what cards do what. So I have 2 Duress against control to eat away at their hand, 2 Implement of Malice as well. This way I have 4 total discard. Implement of Malice is not targeted discard. They get to choose. However, it is recurable. So each turn for 3 mana with Muldrotha out, we are able to have them discard and draw a card of our own. So I think this card is worth it. I haven't actually done best of 3 yet because I want to make sure my main deck is fine before I start testing out the sideboard. Additionally, we have Lost Legacy. This is against mostly control deck. I could see bringing it in against like red-green monsters just to get rid of Glorybringer, but I haven't seen too much of that yet. This is almost entirely for Scarab God, Teferi, and Approach. I might actually craft another one of these. Like, that's how good this card is, because it's like, if you hate Approach, make this card, play black, and put this in your sideboard. You just choose Approach, and as long as they don't have counter magic up, you take their approaches. And they can't win with Approach anymore. It's great. 2 Torment of Scarabs. Just another solid card against the control deck. If you're able to resolve this early on, you just eat away at them until they just can't do anything. And finally, 1 Carnage Tyrant. This is just a card that is hard for them to deal with. They can't counter it, and they can't target it. So, moving on to our aggro sideboard cards. We have 2 Fatal Pushes just to make sure we have enough early game removal to get rid of those pesky creatures. 2 Golden Demise we bring in to, once again, kill those pesky creatures. We're also running 2 Arborback Stomper. I don't know if this is correct, but it's a decent sized body and it gives you 5 life, right? We want to maximize our life gain while still playing to our board. So, for example, if we do turn 3 a Gift of Paradise, we gain 3. And then on turn 4, if we play another land, we can play Arborback Stomper, gaining another 5, right? So we've gained 8 in the course of 2 turns, relatively early. Of course, without Gift of Paradise, this doesn't happen until turn 5, but things like Filigree Familiar should be able to help out with that. So I think this is a good include. I've played it in EDH before, and I like it. To be fair, that EDH deck is relatively casual. But I think it's a good card. Time will tell on whether or not I end up keeping it in. It might just be too slow against the aggro decks. And then Noxious Gearhulk is actually not for either aggro or control, but for mid-range decks. We want to make sure each card we are playing has as much impact as possible, and Noxious Gearhulk is that. We can gain life because in mid-range battles, we are doming each other for decent chunks at a time, and we get to destroy one of their creatures. So I think Noxious Gearhulk is a good addition against the control matchups. And obviously, this is just my first run-through of the sideboard. I'm not... Like, this is, one, as I said before, my first foray back into any type of standard metagame. So it's been a while since I have had to make such a varied sideboard and make sure that I'm hitting everything. Oh, something else that I'm not going to necessarily go back for is with the Kaladesh update, we also got one of each of the one of each of the quick lands, or whatever they're called. So Blooming Marsh and Botanical Gardens, I think. So I put those in the deck and got rid of some of the always come into play tap lands that are the same color. Essentially, they do the same job, but I can actually cast them. So my opponent is on gold, and I'm in silver. I did relatively okay in my ranking games, but I was also testing a lot of cards, so I lost a decent amount testing cards. Curious that I'm facing a gold, though. This is not a good hand. We don't have green. If this was a forest, I might keep it, but all of these are extremely expensive, as well as the fact that this is a duplicate, so this is a pretty easy mulligan here. We are going second, so we'll get to draw additionally. Once again, this is a trash hand. One land and not much early, so sadly we have to go down to 5. This one's fine though, especially because we have Walking Ballista. Hopefully we'll be able to draw another land so we can Walking Ballista into Champion, but this is okay. I do not need a second Thrashing. Thrashing Brontodon actually might be one of the cards that I end up putting in the sideboard. The reason I've kept it in so far is because, if nothing else, it's a 3-mana 3/4, which is like fine stats. But easily I could see myself putting this in the sideboard and putting in well, I do need another Champion of Wits, but maybe upping my Filigree Familiar count, for example. Not entirely sure. This is something that, you know, they introduced 2 whole sets. It's going to take me a little bit to get acclimated to the new cards. We did get a 3rd land. That's fantastic. I will go ahead and play this on 2. Just so that we can start chunking our opponent. It looks like they are on the probably blue-white approach, is my guess. I'm hoping that the recording isn't too jittery, because I have noticed in some of my games that there was a little bit of lag, and it felt like more than before, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm a little bit unsensitive to those things, so that's good. I will just attack here. And what's great about Walking Ballista is if they try to remove it at any point, I can just use it to ping them. So. And I will go ahead and cast Champion. I have nothing to do at end of turn. If this gets countered, sure. They counter essentially a half of my card. I care more about the fact that I'm not being able to dig, but that's, you know, that's fine. So, for right now, I'm not going to be recording best of 3. Once I figure out, like, streaming and stuff, I may... oh, interesting. So this is probably not the blue-white approach deck. Once I figure out how exactly to stream properly, I might end up streaming best of 3 matches just because they take longer. But I don't feel confident that those videos will be able to stay at a length that people seem to like, right? Especially for the Muldrotha and Bolus videos. For something like the Saplings or the Zombies, those matches I can see taking less time just because those are more aggressive decks. Not necessarily aggro, but they're much more aggressive. But where the Muldrotha, you know, a single game could be 15 minutes anyway, and then you have to take into account sideboarding, and the other 2 games, right? You're looking at probably a 45-minute video. And it does seem like people would prefer a roughly 25-minute video. So if you want to see that, I can maybe do uploads on like the weekend that are just for that. This is not good. Drawing a land would be great. This isn't target, right? No. So drawing a land of any kind would be great because I have Eldest Reborn. That is not an Eldest Reborn, but I'd be damned if it is not a good card. Oh, awkward. Whatever. I'm not able to do anything because of the hexproof. Like, I can ping that, but, like, who cares? But, die. This is why I'm still running a single Bontu's Reckoning. It's just for protection against stuff like that. Sadly, they can do whatever they want. That's unfortunate. But yeah, so essentially what I would be doing is whatever deck lands on Saturday and Sunday, I would record a best of 3 for those. So the Saturday and Sunday videos would be longer than the, wow, they had 2 copies of both those, so I'm just going to go ahead and concede. The Saturday and Sunday videos would be longer than the weekday videos. So if that's something that you want to see, let me know. I mean, so I don't understand. Jaya is always the one that comes up. Even on Victory, it's just Jaya. I do like that they show you like the progress, but I wish that was faster, or it just like went, like it flashed and was here. Like I don't need to sit through that entire thing. The concede animation, I think it's too loud, and I think it is too graphics intensive. I don't like that it takes that much to do. It really judders up the game. Let's see other upkeep things. Oh, they switched around. They switched around some Planeswalker abilities, some abilities. Period. That's a great name. Muldrotha. Oh crap! I forgot to say the name of my first one. They switched around the abilities of some things, so people have been like accidentally doing things like they didn't take into account muscle memory. I'm gonna turn it down just a little. I will say I love the new menus. It also, like, they have concede separate from these, bigger and red. I think that's pretty good. This seems like actually good. And I'm going first? Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, I mean, I like best of 3. I think best of 3 is where I'm going to eventually spend most of my time. But for the videos I'm making, I still think best of 1 is preferable. I can say words. But if you disagree, let me know. So I can still, since I have no turn 2 play, right? I still want to play Submerged Boneyard because this will still come into play untapped next turn. And next turn I can play either Champion of Wits or Spring. Not entirely sure which. Opponent has no action yet. I think I would rather get Spring countered. Because it's looking like maybe they're playing Jeskai control. Yeah, I think I'll cast Spring. Another reason to do this is because if they aren't playing Jeskai control, they might have something like a burn spell that would kill Champion anyway. So I need to hide this, please. Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, I want another green source. I just want to make sure I have 2 green. The menus feel a little bit more slidey, and like not unresponsive, but for whatever reason they don't feel as fluid, which kind of seems incongruent with the fact that I said slidey in a negative connotation. But I don't know, it doesn't feel as smooth. I don't know what my opponent's playing, which is fine. Here I don't need the Liliana yet. And I like the idea of Branchwalker into Wits. Do I want a Branchwalker first or second? That is a good question. I'm probably going to discard Thrashing Brontodon with Champion of Wits. I'll Branchwalker first. Let's see if my opponent has some sort of response. Opponent is on 7 cards, I think. I like the idea of just having another Branchwalker. Oh, you know what? I should have done Champion of Wits first, just so I would, like, the scry would be a little bit technically more important. Because I guess I'm, like, here I'm just choosing if I want to draw this. I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. I think Branchwalker is pretty good in this weird matchup. I've seen, a red-white aggro deck. So it looks like they're going to counter this with like a Censor or something. Essence Scatter. Sure. I mean, they only countered half of this, so... And I have this resolved. It'll probably get Magma Sprayed or something at the end of turn, but... Oh, right, like a red-white aggro deck that had like Walking Ballistas and the typical red aggro cards, plus the like 3/3 dinosaur that has to attack each turn. It's been pretty good. Alright, Gideon, sure. So their shields are down, so I can cast my Liliana. If I draw land, I could also theoretically just, like, Walking Ballista and kill Gideon. Oh, no, it plus. Never mind. So if I hit Gideon, then it shows this. Okay, cool. It does the same if I do this. Target. Okay, that's nice to see. I will just go ahead and put Liliana here now that their shields are down. They didn't... Did they play land? Did I go first? I don't remember.
Apologies for the
But yeah, look at this.
I've been
Why is this over here? What? This is not only the first ability, but it's a plus ability. This should be over here. And it used to be, and they changed it. So in a lot of my testing games, I would just, immediately muscle memory over here, click this, and it'd be like, oh, I can't cancel it. Because I assume if I had full control, maybe I'd be able to cancel it, but it was, like, absolutely ridiculous. I felt betrayed.
I am in control.
No, Liliana, I'm in control. Version of combat, let's see. 2 lands. It's a little unfortunate. This deck is fine drawing lands. At this point in the game, I should say. Yeah, I think I've played with enough games that Thrashing Brontodon I think should be in the sideboard for something else. Let me know what you guys think I should play instead. Cast out on Liliana? Sure. Well, the thing is, I have Thrashing Brontodon to get rid of that, so... and I assume Gideon's going to plus here. Hit the Merfolk. I can attack it. So yeah, it looks like they're playing some sort of Jeskai control.
Not if I can help.
Sure. So I can pretty easily... Yeah, pretty easily Brontodon here. There's nothing in my graveyard that I care about getting. Nope. So combat... Go ahead and attack Gideon. I do like that they have tips on the arrows. I do like how the attack shield thing is different. But I think they've added more animations, and it's unnecessary. Like Vraska's Contempt has an animation. It just adds, for me, it just adds too much faff to the game, and just slows it down a little bit more than I'd like. If people want those animations, fine. I almost clicked this again. If people want those animations, fine, but like, give us the option, you know?
Than the dead.
Like, if I could turn off animations, I would probably turn off animations for when I'm recording and turn them back on when I'm not, just because I want to maximize, oh, both of them are in the graveyard, that's unfortunate. I just want to maximize my ability to, like, have the game look not garbage. But hopefully that'll be alleviated somewhat, when I get my new computer at some point. Yeah, I mean, I've liked this update so far. Some of the decks I've come up against I haven't liked, but that's neither here nor there. Excuse the weird squeaking, that was my water bottle. Opponent's on 5 cards, I'm on 3+2. We each have a single Planeswalker. We each have 5 mana. Gideon is potentially dead next turn. I do assume that they'll probably leave upset all the wreckage mana.
No, I don't think so.
So I'll end up attacking with these two. Okay, they didn't. Interesting. So they have card up.
Our actions determine the course.
Gideon's definitely dead.
Reveal who we are.
And Karn's gonna die soonish. Do I want to give them a land or do I want to give them a Heart of Kiran? So yeah, it looks like it's Jeskai Planeswalkers, which is cool. I mean, I'm probably going to make an Abzan mid-range deck that's going to have a decent amount of Planeswalkers in it. Control rather than play Heart of Kiran's crew cost. I mean, honestly, it seems like annoying to deal with, so. Also, they did get rid of the having 2 pages for Karn. I like that. I was a little confused at first because I was just trying to click done. But so Gideon's going to die, which is awesome. I still don't technically have any creatures that I need to get. I would like to... I'd like to get something. I don't know what. You attack here. You attack here. Cool, cool. Alright, Gideon, go away. You're
better than I expected.
And I will plus... I I still try to do it.
Death is ever present.
Alright, what's in here? Vraska Contempt. That's unfortunate. I would have liked to get that. Shut up, ambulance. I hate you. Alright, I'm gonna mute myself. Alright, sorry about that. Ambulance was being much more loud than I wanted. I'll go ahead and play this instead of the Branchwalker. I just want to draw cards and see what I can get. Cool. So this is a pretty easy discard here. Honestly, I don't think I need Branchwalker anymore. I'll probably end up casting Walking Ballista for a ton to kill Karn, or at least to help facilitate Karn's death. Opponent is down to 4 cards. If they are an approach deck, we are approaching approach time. I could theoretically just try and beat them down, because I do have 6, 9, 11 damage on board.
You may regret that choice.
Seal away. Well, I wonder what I'm going to give them. Fun fact. I'm giving them a seal away. Can I sort these? Can I sort these? I can't. Cool. I feel like I've done this before, but I don't actually remember. So yeah, this looks like a Settle the Wreckage turn. I guess I'll probably try and kill Karn. Do I have anything in here that I really want to get? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can also Champion of Wits. So I think I will try and murder the crap out of Karn. And if my opponent does settle me, I'm getting 5 lands. The reason I have to attack with like all of them is because I know they have at least 1 seal away. Luckily, I know it's unlikely that they have like 2 or 3, just because there's another seal away in their exile. Oh man, Muldrotha deck takes forever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys could tell that, but like that dragging those over like was awful. Is it seal away or settle the wreckage? Except, sure. I am fine with that. What the heck? Like, you don't need that animation. It just slows the game down for no reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a lot of mana now. We'll probably end up getting Heart of Kiran, I assume. I'm taking actions. Why are you still doing the thing? They said that they said that taking like reasonable actions would give you more time. I've not like seen that like at all. Excuse me, what? What the heck was that? It discarded the 2 cards that were already in my hand. Oh, is it easy to report bugs? I don't know. I'll post this video, I guess, on the forums, but that was ridiculous. I had enough mana to just like get back Walking Ballista and like kill the Teferi. Like that's stupid.
I know.
Wow, I'm actually pretty flustered about that.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
That's frustrating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I could have just like cast and killed Teferi with Walking Ballista, and I've still had another one in reserve. Like, I was absolutely gonna get rid of 2 of these, and wow, it's just ridiculous. Do you get rid of Liliana? Really? Okay. guess I'll cast Champion of Wits again. And hope nothing goes horribly wrong. Oh, look at that. I can actually discard things. Ridiculous. One, two, three, four, five, six. Combats. Dome to Fairy down to four. I mean, the sad thing is this is almost certainly an approach deck, and there's not much I can do about it right now. I guess I'll put this on Hinterland Harbor. No, cast Thrashing Brontodon. And I'll activate it. Yeah, like, I'm taking actions. I don't know if their timer thing was implemented properly. Or maybe it's, like, moving a little bit.
Servitude.
Yeah, there's nothing in there that I
Think
wanted.
of it as...
Oh, look, it's Muldrotha. Alright, so theoretically I can get Muldrotha online. And just start using the Eldest Reborn.
Hold that thought.
So it looks like this is the first turn that they can cast. Approach. Maybe this isn't approach deck. Maybe it's just I'm gonna play a bunch of Planeswalkers.
You want to go, tough guy?
1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm gonna have 15 mana next turn.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
The heck did you exile? Fumigate. You can't cast Fumigate. Sure. I'm still probably gonna try and kill Teferi first. Yeah, I mean cycling the Eldest Reborn is probably like the way I win.
This will aid us.
What are you getting? Seal? Sure, you can only... Oh, no, you can cast 2. Darn. Still, Teferi is only on 2 right now, so... unless this is just a bluff to get me to attack into a Settled Wreckage again. Teferi should still die. Okay. Combat first. All of these are going into Teferi. Because I want Teferi dead. And the reason they all have to go to Teferi is just because if I don't do that, he has two sealaways. Oh, another thing I didn't talk about is the scrolling. I don't like the scrolling. Okay, yeah, just let's Teferi die. I guess maybe leaving up a counterspell or something. I don't know. Teferi is dead AF. I will go ahead and play a swamp. Now I would like to -3. I would like to get back. Muldrotha, please. Now I'm going to start casting the crap out of some value. Obviously must cast the enchantment first. And hopefully I get a chance to do more things. I mean, it doesn't look like they have a response to me casting things, so they're going to lose one of their 2 Planeswalkers. Decide to lose Karn? Sure. Now they're going to lose the second, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So I'm going to cast Walking Ballista. 4, 5, and then Murder Sharon. Walking Ballista is a great card. Okay, they continued. They saw the sweet value that I had and realized that they could no longer deal with it. Holy crap. Yeah, I mean, look how long this is lagging. Oh, you know what? I don't think I can do anything. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and like do the outro from this and try and figure out what to do in this scenario, because I legitimately have no idea. So I hope you guys liked the video, even though it has bugs abound. If you did, go ahead and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, and cast a comment in the comment section down below about how weird this bug is. Until next time, all will be one. Just like my level of patience for this out of 10.